everyone, welcome to 10 on the 10th Christmas cards. This is a collab that's been ongoing for a couple years. It's hosted by MetalScrappinChick, who is Kim. Hello, Kim. And I took a pause towards the end of last year and the beginning of this year because I don't need 120 Christmas cards. But half a year's worth, July through December or July through November, however long this goes, approximately 10 cards a month, more or less. Some months might be a little less, some a little more. I actually did 12 cards this month because I used the July 2022 sheet load of cards by Call Me Crafty Owl, which makes 12 cards this time. See, I see the yield. And then I have been wanting to use this, so I finally just did the Storybook Gnomes suite of products by Stampin' Up. These are adorable gnomes. It's my first ever gnome set called Kindest Gnomes Bundle. Now these are on page 42 through 44, I'm sorry, 42 and 43 of the July to December Stampin' Up mini catalog, this year's. And I didn't get everything. I did get the bundle. I didn't get the ribbon. I did get the fine sparkle adhesive back gems. I already have the Snowfall Accents puff paint, but I because we had it before, and it's returning. It's a returning favorite. And let's see. And I got the paper. I did order the paper, and I love this paper. And it has some things where the dies cut out things in the paper, and I'll show you that as we go. So here are the gems that go with the Storybook Gnomes, the fine sparkle adhesive back gems in Poppy Parade, Calypso Coral, which I didn't use this time, Pacific Point, and Pool Party. And you see I used quite a few of those three. Kindest Gnomes, adorable. The Gnomes dies, which has the mushroom house or toads or whatever. I also used Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and on some of them I used Warm Wishes. I did not use this time You Know Me So Well, and I also didn't use Your Kindness Does Not Go Unnoticed, because these are supposed to be Christmas cards. And the paper, these two gnomes, there's paper designs in the paper that you can die cut with dies, so I did quite a few of those, and the mushrooms too. But I also stamped this little gnome person with the light on two of my Warm Wishes cards. And then for I think 2 of the cards I used this Friends Like You Make This Season Special. This is in the annual catalog by Stampin' Up. It carried over from last year's holiday mini, and it goes with these pine cone dies, so I actually happen to have that out. And then I did use 2 circle dies out of the Stylish Shapes dies that are new in the annual. And I did use, I think for 3 or 4 cards, this die here out of the Beautiful Shapes dies that carried over from the January to June 2022 mini to the new annual on page 169. And lastly, I used, these Wonderful Moments snowflakes. They were in last year's August-December 2021 mini. And they are now in the July to December mini on page 45 and 83. So let me put them up aside and just walk you through this real quick. These are A2 cards. They're horizontal, and then there's a piece of card with 2 triangular, and you use 3 sheets of 12 by 12 paper. You use 2 sheets of card, and I did use basic white for that, and 3.375 inch squares, which is 3 3/8 inch square. I didn't do this because my sentiments I changed this up a little bit, a lot actually. So anyway, I'm using what I have. So I did them in batches of 2. My cardstocks change based on the colors. So these are the first 2. This is Poppy Parade cardstock and basic white. These are all punched or cut out of the paper. So let me show you that paper real quick. This side is the mushrooms. Now you can see for these, you can actually cut with your trimmer a straight line down here, and then you can die cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you don't waste a whole lot of paper. I actually saved the bits in between because I have a little 1/2-inch circle punch, and I think I'll be able to cut out a lot of these snowflakes to use as embellishments. But the other side, if you don't want to do that, is this with the moose and the deer. And on one of the cards, I think it's this one with the Calypso Coral guy. I think I used one of these scenes on one of the cards from a scrap. Like I cut, I did 2 rows, but there was one I didn't need or something, and anyway, that's what I did. And then the gnomes, and there's 2 sheets of this and 2 sheets of this. Now this one, you can't cut straight across because you'll be cutting the tip of somebody's hat or shoes off. At least well, see, yeah, if you go, you could sort of like these 2 are on the same level and these 2, but you have to kind of dip down and then go back up. So you can see I cut it wavy. Didn't have as much left out of those other than maybe this little snowflake. So I did that, and the back of that one is this really cool, like a Arctic sweater knit kind of thing. I think that's beautiful, but I did not use that. And then I just picked some other papers, so I'm just gonna get going here. Anyway, this is the beautiful shapes dies. Here on both of these, I glued down the square that had the 2 triangles of paper, and I glued this down, and then all 3 of these are bumped up on dimensionals, and I used the Pool Party. Oh, I went around this with Poppy Parade and stamped it in Poppy Parade. That light is too bright. And bumped all these up on dimensionals, and that's it. And inside on all of them, I tried to use the corresponding, when you cut the paper, you see you have this margin and this bottom margin, so I had pieces left I could cut to use in here. Some of them are 1/2 inch, these happen to be 3/4 inch. So yeah, that's the first 2. Then the next 2 are on Pool Party, and this is the same paper as this. I don't remember what's on the flip side of, I think this might be on the flip side of this. Anyway, and then we have some Pacific Point snowflake paper in the background, which goes with this little Girl Gnomes Pacific Point. So same thing here, I stamped in Pacific Point on Pool Party, and that same beautiful shapes dies, and inside 1/2 inch strip on those. And then here's the other one. So far these are all ones cut out of the paper. And then we go to Pacific Point base with snowflakes all over it in Pacific Point and sorry for my air conditioner, Costa Cabana. And then this one, you can't see it, but it's the mushroom paper like the next cards I'll show you. And then this these 2 are the other half of these 2 triangles. And here I glued down the sentiment. On this one I used a punch, but I did a little fun technique with it, sort of fun. It was a pain actually to me. I used quite a few of the Poppy Parade. They're sort of a muted Poppy Parade, but they have a lot of sparkle to them. Stamped in Poppy Parade also, but that's okay that they're muted because this I think is actually Calypso Coral. Anyway, and then on this one, and here I bumped everything, these 2 up and not this, and on this one I only bumped up the gnome And I went around the outside of this with Poppy Parade, but I stamped the sentiment in Pacific Point. Pacific Point's a pretty blue. And then this is where I used that Friends Like You Make This Season Special. These also were all die cut out of the paper, and I switched the side. So in the picture, it's to the left, and then there's an oval here. It says image sentiment here, but I put my images over top the triangles, and I didn't have a sentiment that exactly fit on that size of an oval, so that's why I'm playing around with different sentiments and doing different things. So here's where I use those stitched, I forget what they were called. Anyway, the stitch shapes dies of some in circles. Friends Like You Make This Season Special, and I thought that was cute with there's little gnomes down here, and then the girl gnome here, and then the man gnome, and there's little gnomes down here too in their little mushroom field. And it looks like it snowed. There's little bits of snow there, so it's really cute. And I think, yeah, 3/4 inch piece on the inside. And then I have 4 more, but there's 2, they're in pairs. Okay, so this one is, I think, was the last one of the cutout gnomes. But here's where I started using those snowflakes, wonderful snowflakes that carried over, and I used the Warm Wishes. Everything is glued. Oh, and I did use retired layering ovals, just the scallop in Pacific Point. And the only thing that's bumped up is the gnome on this one. So I thought that was pretty with the snowflakes in the back, and this snowflakes. And then this is actually a scene, but the colors didn't quite go. And that one's a larger, wider piece of this. I actually accidentally cut this sheet somehow, 2 of them, to only 5 instead of 5 1/4 by 4. I cut it to 5 by 3 3/4, or actually I had cut it to 5 by 4, so I cut it down to 5 by 3 3/4, and then I just put an extra piece of white cardstock there. And so that's that one. And then this one I colored. I stamped and colored, and I did, I'll bring all, well, these 2 first. So this one I did the same way as the last one, except I colored a gnome, and I think he's cute. And I thought the little lantern went well with the Warm Wishes. And then these 2, this is another colored gnome, basically same way, Pacific Point oval, the snowflake, the Warm Wishes, but the background paper is different than on this one. It is more Night of Navy and soft suede. It didn't quite go with the other, and balmy blue, so I went with the balmy blue background on this one. And I just had these, I had 2 thin strips, so I used them to go with this instead of this background. And here is where I said I used that that paper, the back of the paper from the mushrooms. It was a scrap piece though, but there was enough that I could cut a little oval out. So I used the layering ovals again, which are not available, they're retired. The background one is in Pacific Point. I glued that on this one. I think this is the only one I did this. I actually bumped up the whole square, and the other ones, I think I decided that used too many dimensionals, so I didn't continue that. And then this is bumped up and then partially glued on here. And I went back to Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I just used the Lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch. On this one I used this, and I think I used that on this one as well, and this one, but I used the flatter one on those. And this one I didn't put a backing piece on, but I used the more decorative one. So those are my 12 cards. They're all similar but a little different. So this one's kind of these 2 are more different. And then I don't know how to show these actually. These I can, they're just really cute. I like them all. So let me know your thoughts if you like them. I sure do. I think they're cute, and I hope people would enjoy. I'm not a real big gnome person, by the way, but I think these ones that Stampin' Up! Has this time are just adorable. Oh, and the only one I had any kind of ribbon on is this one. I don't know if you can even see it. It has the glittered organdy, white glittered organdy ribbon, 3/8 inch. I always forget I have that. And I did get out the sheer pool party, but I thought, you know, the paper is busy enough, and I really, with the embellishments on, I really didn't feel like I needed the ribbon this time, but it would go nicely on, especially this card, any of them that have the more pool party, and maybe not these so much, but yeah, this one, I just wanted to add a little more glitter because it's like snow in the background. So let me know if you have a favorite down below, and be sure to go check out MetalScrappinChick and all the other participants that I will try to list down below. I have to get the list off Kim's last video because I don't think I have an email with that. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. Took a long time, over, you know, part of a day, but well worth it. I have 12 Christmas cards, so I've started on my journey, and I have one I did the other day for a different video. So I actually have 13 Christmas cards now from this year to start my collection to send out hopefully this year. All right guys, have a great day. Talk to you soon. Hugs, love, and peace.